Real people funded, real lives changed, real businesses being launched and growing. So basically, we're going to go on an incredible journey, so I want you to buckle up and get ready to go. Take lots of notes, and don't forget to download the PDF at the bottom of this video to be able to recap all the information that we review in this video. The video topic today is the 5 core essentials of the business funding formula. The first one is, what is the business funding formula and what does it mean for you? Why is it important and vital to get your business to the next level? Number 2, how does the funding formula help the smallest businesses become the most successful? How does it really happen with real businesses? We're going to go over that. And then number 3, how to be creative and innovative to finance your business. Now more than ever, it's never been more complex and confusing to figure out business funding for your business. And so we're going to break it down into a simple roadmap that's easy to follow for you to succeed. We're also going to review the 3 C's of funding. Kind of important aspects that are critical to understand in order to get the funding that you need. And number 5, we're also going to review my own personal funding stories of how I overcame lacking the 3 C's in order to fund one of my businesses. All right, let's get started here with number 1, the business funding formula and what it means to you. So you're an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur, and that being the case, access to money is super important, right? It's what gives your business the opportunity to have a chance, right? So I'm telling you a chance. If you have access to money, you've got a real opportunity to grow your business. If you don't, it's a lot more difficult. It's kind of like putting your business on steroids when you can get the capital to grow that business and get it moving. The business funding formula is essentially, it's the holy grail for jump-starting your business. So many different Ivy League studies show that one of the top reasons businesses fail is because lack of capital or funding. And while we might know about funding, it's a whole lot different actually being able to do it, right? We know a lot about different things. Maybe we've seen and know a lot about basketball, we've watched it, but playing it and actually accomplishing it totally different versus just knowing about it. And the funding is very similar to that. You have to know how to execute on that funding in order to successfully get the money that you need to grow your business. Let's look at a simple business like a lemonade stand, right? You need the table, you need the lemonade, you need the cups, you need the sugar, the signs to get going, and the business funding formula allows you to get the things your business needs. It's not necessarily that you need the money. You need the money to get the stuff that your business needs. Stuff like inventory, right? A new website, office location, money for marketing, the ability to hire staff. That's what your business needs to grow and get going. And I just want to remind you that this is not a get-rich-quick scheme because you got access to affordable funding. It opens the door, it gives you that opportunity. You want to focus your time after you get the funding on generating revenues, selling your product or service, but the business funding formula opens that door for you to make that happen. Let me tell you what this is, okay? This is not buying some shelf corporation or spending 12 months building business credit and giving some company thousands of dollars in order to get a $500 Staples card. This is real funding strategies that you can use to fund your business now. It's, like I said, not a corporate credit process. And let me talk about venture capital and crowdfunding, okay? We've all heard, we've seen the Facebooks and the Twitters of the world who have gotten venture capital money, and the bottom line factor is less than 1% of businesses actually get venture capital funding, and a very small percentage are also successfully able to get crowdfunding. So for the other 97% of businesses, this is what the business funding formula is for, to help you open the door and get your business going. So I just want to make that clear. Now you might ask, well, what about my local bank? Can my local bank get the job done? And they tell most businesses no, because they want you to show 2 years of very profitable business tax returns. And if you're a new startup business, well, it's even more difficult to get the funding that your business needs. What about SBA? Well, SBA programs, same thing. They want the profitable business tax returns. They also want collateral. So if you have a free and clear piece of real estate or your 401k, they'll be glad to take that, and then maybe they'll consider, giving you some financing and a loan. And when you're securing funding for an existing business, obviously that's different than a new business. It's even more difficult for a new business because you're not established, you don't have the financials. And lending before the Great Recession versus lending now, it is a different world. because it was a different world. It was easy to walk into a bank. I would walk in and out of banks with $50,000 lines of credit, and that world is never coming back to us. You have to document everything. There's a lot more creative financing that you have to follow. So it's a new skill that you're going to need if you're serious about succeeding in your business. Let's talk about opportunities and emergencies, right? Maybe my business is okay and I'm thinking, well, I don't need any money, I'm good. Well, let me ask you something. What if you get sick? What if there's an emergency? What if one of your key people quit? Or what if you just need some extra money to, make ends meet because something bad happens? Well, when you have access to funding, now you have those emergencies covered. What about opportunities that come along? What if an incredible opportunity requires an additional $20,000 and you can't tap it? That opportunity may come and go very quickly. Business funding is kind of the difference, between making that happen. Knowledge equals power. Without the knowledge, it's difficult to know how lenders think, and securing capital and going through the business funding formula is kind of going to teach you how to do that and do it well. Let me tell you a story about my friend Pace. Pace went on an interesting funding journey. He was kind of starting a business. He had some big startup costs to get that business going. In fact, he needed $150,000 in funding, and he was able to actually get that by following the business funding formula. He got over $150,000 in funding. And of course, his story might be different. It might be unique. It doesn't mean that the exact same thing will happen to you, but the business funding formula, when you follow it the right way, this is what it can mean for you. This is what it can mean for your business.